anything but where anything goes. My name is Miguel. Today I'm joined by one of my closest and bestest buddies.
What's up?
What's your name?
Mark Hamill.
The Joker.
This is Brendan.
Hello, and welcome to episode 59, where clearly you can tell, there's 2 episodes that come out between 58 and now, but something's different.
What could it be?
I think it's your hair.
Is it?
I think you changed. Did you dye it?
Is it more gray?
That could be it. Maybe it's just my ego. Folks, this is... behind the scenes, we've spoken about this a couple times, saying that if there's going to be one... It's okay.
No, can I just say something really quick? I really hope you guys like this, because this was a shit show.
Oh my god. So we'll walk you through what happened today. But we've said behind the scenes a couple times that if we're going to have one introspective episode of the podcast every once in a blue moon, this is going to be it. We're going through a huge transition period. We've been transitioning for like 3 weeks now, between getting you in and whatever. But this is going to be it. Today, folks, there's no news. There's no reviews. This is just straight to the point, us talking. And wow, my head is spinning a little bit.
Or is it?
A little.
Very that little. Shot? Yeah. Like immediately?
Yeah.
You know what you need?
A second.
More energy drink. Or a second shot.
We're going to talk about basically the fun day we had setting up this new set, and I hope you like the bang. Brendan, point at your camera.
Bang.
Middle camera. Bang. Hope you like the new triple camera setup.
Yes.
We have the green screen. We're ready. Screen record. We have this going on. We're using the green screen. We have the set. Is this the first set we built today?
No.
Is this the second set we built today?
Almost.
We built this set 3 times. Okay, 3 different times, 3 different recordings. And then there was an ant debacle. So let's walk you through what happened today. Brendan came over at about 10 o'clock, and the goal 9:30. The goal was for us to build a set. The set was going to be on the other side of the room. We'd have a white wall, and we'd use that instead of the green screen. And then we were just going to sit down and record. Then in the middle of us finishing that set, we had already built it. It was completely done. We could have just sat down and started.
Yep.
Brendan said, I have this great idea. What if we put the green screen against the window, against the door? And we just did it that way. That could be a lot more fun. And then we thought, hey, this will be easier to film in my apartment. Let's not just do one episode of crappy and then try to move on to something better. Let's start from better. Right. And we took the set apart and we went to move everything. And in the course of moving everything, we moved my router that apparently had become a nest for sugar ants. And when I say this, right, in the springtime, you have a couple ants show up.
Yeah.
They run around. They do whatever. You're like, it's the spring. Sugar ants, I got to put down a couple traps. There were ants lining the bottom of the router that had somehow not shown up anywhere else.
It was an infestation.
There was ants. They're tiny. They're this big.
There were more ants than an Ant-Man.
Yes.
It's the best way to put it.
Hundreds
if not thousands.
They were on top of the router,
Maybe
and then I bring it outside, and it's okay. I'm smacking the router, and they're falling out of the router. And then we're moving, we have this fireplace here. We're moving the fireplace, and they're underneath the... Thousands. There had to be over 1,000 fucking ants in this thing. So then, in the middle of building the second set, we stop what we're doing. We put together a way to defeat the ants. Then we build the set. We go, okay, we need an adapter because we can't use the router.
We don't have an adapter.
We don't have the adapter. So then we had to come back, finagle a way to make the router work without bringing the ants into the house. Router's in a box. And now we're here. We recorded the review. We had some fun talking about the Flash. But we need to make sure that we get all of this main episode in and just have the time to not have to rush or do any kind of problem. Am I missing anything? Because this ordeal of ours has now taken 4 or 5 hours.
This green screen was initially meant to be on the outside of the window, so it looked like we were in different places.
But then you realize with the lights,
there's glare. It did not work.
It's a problem.
So
and then we have
a desk lamp.
Can we name him?
What do you want to name? Larry?
Bilby?
What?
Bilby?
Bilbo?
Bilby.
Bilby.
It's like Bilbo, but with an I.
What's that one's name with a clap, 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 slap, slap, slap? Bulby. It's a light bulb. It's Bulby.
Bulb-y.
Bulb-y, yes.
With a Y.
Bulb-Y.
Exactly.
Pronounced Bulb-y.
Bulby joke. So, oh my god. We've had a lot of fun.
It's
been 5 hours.
So many hours.
It's just been like caffeine and moving things around and
empty.
Yeah. The problem is, right, every time you turn around, because Brendan is great. Brendan is very excited for him and I to be partners on the podcast.
Yes.
But he's got too many ideas.
I have way too many
And every
ideas.
time we turn around, he's like, what if we did this instead? What if we...
And they're all good ideas, but unless you have, like,
collectibles in front of us
studio
to
like,
describe what we have. What if we put the green screen on top of the thing? What if we clamp the green screen? What if we move the curtain? What if we sit down to go start to record and then realize that the green screen, there's a better way to set it up, so we have to stand up again?
What if we have a nice tablecloth?
This is a sheet. You'd have no idea.
No.
So let's talk about the set while we're here. So, this is not a shelf.
It's a table.
This is my table in my living room, but you'd have no idea.
Why'd you let them know?
Because this is our thing. We're very
Open?
introspective. Open. This is the introspective episode of the podcast.
Okay.
We've got this end table. It moves. End table? I don't know. And we have collectibles because I collect too much shit of everything that we talk about.
I just had another idea.
What is the idea?
Get a big ass bowl and put it on the table.
That's
full
such
of everything.
A good idea. We don't need to put a banner there. We just have a bowl.
A fucking bowl.
And then you can put sponsors in the bowl. Soup. If an energy drink sponsors us, we put it in there.
No.
No. You can put the bowl. That's the thing.
It's the anything bowl.
Exactly.
And we pull out anything from that bowl today.
What if we just put topics in there?
Topic, and that's what we talk about. So it's not so, like, standardized and just, like, so we're going down a checklist. It's like, what are we talking about from the anything bowl? Anything.
That's a great idea. I just need to buy ink for my printer, and then we can do that.
Okay. And a bowl.
That's
fancy bowl.
We have a bowl. We have so many bowls.
Fancy bowl.
Really, like a China bowl?
More obnoxious. Something that grandma doesn't use unless, you know, like, it's a big event. Or, like, something you find in, like, Goodwill, but, like, it's kind of ugly, but, like, at the same time, it's special.
So let's just go, we'll go left to right of the stupid things that are here, and the reason that they're here. Starscream.
Yes.
From Transformers Cybertron. Timmy and I found this in a collectible store for $25, and I had to have it. It's missing pieces, it's scratched up, it probably is kind of gross. Starscream. We got Kylo Ren's ship from, I think, The Last Jedi. My Lego set, I love it.
Nice.
Brendan was determined to have Groot with the Christmas lights because he said it was a celebration. It's June.
It's a new look. It's a celebration. He's happy for us.
He's happy for us.
The next one's just as important.
Yes, it is.
It's Gerard Way. You know what's special about this Gerard Way?
This is the first Funko Pop I ever bought. How can you tell?
He's incomplete, just like us, because we're down Matt.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
This is Gerard Way.
Jerry. Oh, he's moving to the main table. He's a mainstay now.
He's a mainstay until he falls down.
So,
and he falls in
just
pieces.
real quick, all these things are Miguel's.
Brendan will bring his own stuff at some point.
We will interchange these things if...
Yeah. This is just the idea section right now.
I have another idea, but I don't do a lot of these things, so I don't know. If we get big enough and do whatever, we can have people send in things to put on the table.
Exactly. And then we can just build it up from there. Somebody sends us...
We're going to need a bigger table. Or are we just going to rotate?
There's an ant.
There's no way. Have you checked the box? They've made a return.
No, nothing's come down.
It's just the one ant.
But see, this has nothing to do with the router. This has been the trend in this house since it started to get warm. It's just singular ants that show up wherever.
Yeah.
And we just bought traps, so now we're going to work on whatever.
It's better than centipedes, though.
Yeah.
Centipedes are...
So, if you continue, right, we've got...
Phones.
iPhone 4S, my favorite iPhone. iPhone 6, also an iPhone I've had. And
I'm an Android guy.
Dave, who will be on the podcast at some point, it's his Pixel 3a.
I don't know him.
You don't, but you will. Dave is a great guy.
Okay.
Then we have the monkey from
Pretty cool.
Zombies.
Super How did we not put Optimus up here?
Optimus is over there. Different Optimus.
No, but...
I was going to put him right here and then forgot.
Okay.
The one that moves?
Yes.
Next time. He's holding a Series 2 controller. It's a gift from my lady, Timmy, who's off camera. Shout out. Timmy, yell hi.
Hi!
Yeah. Then you got Kylo Ren's lightsaber, also Timmy's. Darth Vader concept series.
Pretty cool.
Super Saiyan God Goku, a gift from Isaiah that I sold and then bought another one of. In my head, they're the same. Then we've got metallic Friendly Neighborhood Toby. A fake version of Super Saiyan 5.
Why is it fake?
Because it's blue.
Let's take a look at that.
It's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan 5.
Close up.
That's really bad. And then we have an Optimus Prime figure that I've had for like 15 years. Somehow in one piece.
Yes.
Welcome to the set.
Welcome to the Anything Bowl.
The Anything Bowl where anything goes. So, if we talk a little behind the scenes, you can't really see it, but we have a triple camera setup right now.
We do.
It's so cool. We have one for me. Brendan, point to yours.
Bang. We did this already.
We did. And then we have a main camera. I really wish we had like real cameras that didn't have to use our phones. So then I could sit here with my phone and just be like, let me show you what it looks like off of the set.
I mean, we do have
webcams.
Yes, she also owns a phone that we could just show for 5 seconds.
Honey, can I borrow your phone?
We found a solution.
Well, that's a bad idea. You throw it?
You pass it here, and I could just pass it along.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just show you really quick.
Are you going to put it up there and use the new fancy green screen, or are we just going to cut to it?
You're going to make this so difficult on me. Okay, ready? Here's what you got for the rest. There's Brendan's phone over there.
State-of-the-art napkin holder.
If things look jarring, it's because you've got 2 Apple devices and a Galaxy. You've got my 13 Pro recording the my camera. You've got the iPad mini in a napkin holder, and then you've got Timmy on the couch. Say hi, Timmy.
This room has been destroyed time and time again today.
This is great. Honestly, dude, can you pass that back to Timmy?
There you go.
I think one of the biggest things that I'm going to have to get used to with this new set, the amount of work. I've said this before, and it's not because I didn't enjoy doing the podcast with Matt, because that's not it. I got very used to. There's a certain way that you could do it. You know, I take two people's footage, you cut them in half, side by side, you line up the audio.
Yeah.
Intro, outro, easiest shit. You throw in like the really easy transitions. You let it export for an hour and a half. You upload for however long it takes, and then that's it. Yeah. I never had to really watch through and double check things.
No.
The hardest part was making time codes. That was the most time consuming. And now we're looking into using Autopod, which is the AI Premiere Pro thing that'll cut between us.
And that might even change.
Yeah. But if we don't use that, the work that I'm going to have to do to jump from this to this to that to this, it's super cool, but it's a lot.
If anybody knows a better way of doing this, let us know.
I don't think there is. But the problem is, people who are going to do podcasts like this, they either have someone that they hire to do it.
Yes.
Or they have the time to dedicate 7 hours to editing one video.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that. And we're not even on the same ecosystem. So I can't be like, oh, I did half of it. Here's the other half for you.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out.
Well, that's not true, because at my current job, it's the same thing, because I'm the only guy in my office who has a PC and everybody else has a Mac. So everything I render out is actually MOV.
Okay.
So I'm used to doing that anyway.
We'll figure it out as we go. This is going to be... it's not even like today or this week. It's the next couple weeks are going to be the trial points.
Yeah.
Where I'm sure we're going to have one video every now and then where it's just a single cam, even if we record it with the 3, because we don't have time to do whatever. Because, you're an adult and you work 40-something hours a week. I'm an adult. Yeah. I work 40-something hours a week. I've got the gray hair to show for it. I don't need more. But this should work. Our goal now is to focus on long-form content.
Yeah.
Because we've done the shorts and the views have been great and whatever. But the long form, it's like a trickle. It takes very long for us to get whatever, and our top videos have like 200 views, which is great in comparison, but it's not the goal.
When we did this the first time.
Well, yeah. To be fair, we did it.
Yeah.
Well, but that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. If you want, we can get into the history from there, because externally and internally, I name them kind of like software updates.
Yeah, I was not aware of that.
Well, that's why we're explaining it now. We have the Anything Bowl, or we refer to it as Tab quite often, Tab 1.0. Tab 1.0 is October.
I'm sorry, just Tab is totally accurate battle simulator.
So Tab 1.0, but the Anything Bowl 1.0, or we'll just call it 1.0. We started in, honestly, even before that. When we first had the idea of doing a podcast, it was my first semester at Ramapo. This was 2019.
Was it the first one?
My first semester.
It
was both of ours, because we had both transferred.
Yeah, do they know the story?
We're going to tell it right now.
But I mean, like, the true origin.
Of Dudes, Foods, and Movie Moods?
Yes.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Okay.
So initially, right, it's one of those things where we joked about it for a long time.
Yeah.
In I'd say even as early as August and September, it was jokes of like, dude, we should just start a podcast, We're basically having these conversations anyway. Let's just have them on screen.
Yeah.
And then maybe we build a following and do whatever. Only we didn't know how to do any of that. We got into the trend of being in college, hanging out with Matt. Matt lived on campus. We didn't.
Yeah.
So let's just hang out and let's just drink. Let's drink. Let's watch movies. Let's do stupid stuff. And after doing that for a couple weeks, we're like, you know what? What if we just did this podcast like this? What if we just had a microphone between us? The initial thing was to have food, drink a ton, and in the last 10, 15 minutes of a movie, comment on it as it's finishing.
But the movie had to be something that was older or cheesy in some way. So we started off, and the plan was to watch all the Rambos and then go on the Arnold Schwarzenegger films. And it was going to all correlate, and we got through the first two. Yes. And the difference between the first and the second one,
mind-blowing.
Yeah, but
that audio file still exists. That's up on the channel. It's called Failed of the Past Part 1. Or it might just be called Failed of the Past. We uploaded it before 1.0 ended because there was a couple gaps in time. And we had the footage, or we had the audio, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. And what's really funny is, I have the video.
Do you?
I can probably just put them together.
Please don't.
And then just upload it at some point. Because I have it there. You know what we'll do? 1,000 subscriber special.
Why don't we save it and do something
10,000?
else? Well, I was thinking about something else, but I don't want to say it on camera right now. So.
Oh, what, for 1,000 special?
No, for something to do for that. I don't want to get people's hopes up.
Fine.
So we'll talk about that another time.
Well, we have it, so we can do whatever within the future. So 1.0, we do Dudes, Foods, and Movie Moods for like 2 sessions. We watch Rambo, First Blood, and First Blood Part 2. And then...
Wouldn't that just be easier to call it Second Blood?
It would be. Or you just call it Rambo 2.
Yeah.
Instead of First Blood Part 2. Or Rambo, First Blood Part 2. Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid title. Stupid series. Cool. Fun. Stupid.
Yes.
And then you get to... this is the part that's hazy for me. I don't remember how we went from Dudes and Foods to Tab.
I know.
How?
So the audio and everything
horrible
was terrible. And you and Matt...
drunk messes.
...wanted to start talking about technology and phones and anything. And you're like, why don't we just talk about anything? And it's like, well, what do you want? And we were just like looking around Matt's room and everything. And we're like, just the bowl. Just put it in a bowl. I think we were eating chips or something and it was in a bowl. We're like, the anything bowl.
I have that... because I'm just going to have the screen recording up on the green screen.
Okay. And we were just like, yeah, the anything bowl. And you could have whatever you want in it, and you could do whatever, and I don't... It doesn't really make sense, honestly, but like...
We wanted to talk about the 25 things, but we couldn't come up with a title that was better than the anything bowl. Because we couldn't talk about anything with these other... Here it is.
But like, how did we, like...
Bang, photo. This is the original art of what it is. It's
your one I made?
No, this is before that one.
We had one before that.
Yes, it's your S10, Matt's iPhone 10. There's a Nintendo Switch thing, AirPods, headphones, and an Xbox in his crappy little white bowl.
Oh my god! Yeah, wow.
That's on there.
Oh my god.
That's from the first post, 189 weeks ago.
But like, why did we stick with the bowl?
That was the thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, because we were talking about chips. Some of the other titles we were throwing around for Dudes Foods was like Dudes and Chips, or like chips was in it, so we had the idea of a bowl anyway.
Yeah.
So the bowl is the only thing that carried over.
We were just really hungry.
Yeah, well, because it wasn't just like, oh, let's do a thing. It was, let's sit around, let's drink, let's go to late night, which is basically like 2 a.m. horrible food in the dining hall.
Yeah.
And then make Matt's roommates hate us at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Which was completely fine. I understand.
But
so Tab itself then started in about October.
Okay.
October or November of 2019. We go from October to December, and we barely know what we're doing. We go on break, we come back from break, and we had this really great stride from January up until like March 1st. And then, because you can listen to it, right? We really didn't know what we were doing, but we were pumping out content because we're trying to figure out who we were. And we were having a lot of fun, but you were juggling school, I was juggling school, Matt was juggling school.
Well, it also didn't help that you guys were done at like 6, and I had a class that ended at 9 o'clock at night, so I would go to school all day, and then 9 would hit, and then you guys would be waiting in literally the room over, because that's where the recording studio was, and then I'd have to sit in there for 3 more hours, and like it went from us like drinking and... doing whatever to sitting in a box that was smaller than what you see now.
Yes.
And the three of us were just stuffed in there.
Where is it? And you could see it. There it is.
And because it was the school, you couldn't, like, not only could you not have, like, an alcoholic beverage, you couldn't have water. Like, you couldn't have
No, they would freak out.
Yeah. Well, it was... So
because it was... This is the great thing about Ramapo as a college, but also the bad thing. The great thing is that, especially as a music producer or trying to learn music, they have all of this fucking equipment. You have all these crazy microphones and plugins and programs and interfaces and whatever. Even in the tiny studio, outside of like the big recording studio upstairs, they have it there. That's great. The bad part is you're giving it to college students. So people are going to mess with stuff. They're going to break stuff. Every time we'd go in there, we were lucky enough that like the 3 mics we used or the 2 and then Matt's were always there, or 99% of the time. But it was always like the chair was broken, and then the stand was broken, and the next time the chair is like together, but there's screws on the floor, or it's a different stand entirely because someone like snapped it in half. Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Dude, so then we get to February, right? In February, we start trying to do the video. You've got episode 15, where ironically we talk about the DCEU, where we recorded in a lounge because someone was using the H-Wing. And
that's the last one I remember doing.
No. There's a couple more.
Okay.
But at this point, we were also recording backups. Because in February, as we started to do the video, is when stories about COVID started coming out, COVID-19, and how things were, it was only a handful of cases in China, and nothing had come over here yet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because
this was we were not even 6 months in. We did an episode celebrating 6 months, and then that was it.
So it wasn't our first semester then, because...
No, we started the first semester, but it's that following spring semester.
Because I only had one semester left when COVID started, and I finished that online and then graduated.
Oh, yeah, but didn't you walk in the spring? So your last semester would have been the fall? And then you wouldn't actually go to graduation until the following spring, because Matt did the same thing.
Yeah.
Because then I had another fall after that, because I had my extra semester past 4 years. So February 2020, we're doing that. We're recording a ton of backup episodes at this point, right? So this is the point where you can tell, if you look at like the podcast timeline, is where things start to fall apart. Fall apart in an understandable way, right?
Yeah, well, like there was like technological aspect, keeping up with everything online, and you remember a couple more. We started reviewing some Netflix shows.
Oh, we're not even there yet. Okay, well,
timeline thing, we started drifting further and further away from the original idea of it, and it was more technologically based in.
Yes.
That was not my thing.
It was not. And that's part of the reason why things fall apart. Yeah. All right. You get to episode 15. Episode 15, I don't remember what it was, right? We love talking about nostalgia, and this is the point where a big reason we couldn't build a following is we were talking too much about ourselves. And it's fine to have an introspective podcast, but you can't do introspective and like talking about the human condition in your lives and then also turn around and be like, oh man, the Oscars, what are the Oscars doing? Because it's the Anything Bowl is good, but it's too jarring of a 180. So you get to episode 15 and it's like, I have it here as a story of nostalgia where we were talking more shit about our lives.
Yeah.
And then the audio came out mediocre. We decided that it was too much and you scrapped it. That's when we're like, oh, let's start doing video recording. COVID starts to hit. We record a bunch of backup stuff at this point. Yeah. And then you have these like, it's not even small. There's like 12 episodes here of just like, will we or won't we stop? And then we do. You have like we have the big move where I moved with my dad in March. This is like a couple days before
that episode. Okay.
Another train wreck of an episode, right?
That was a summer. That was like 6 months before.
No. This was like February because we only lived there from February to like December or November.
I swore someone was there who like it could have only been the summer.
It was leading into the summer.
Okay.
But it was you, me, Isaiah, Matt. You guys had helped me move. This was before
Matt was there.
Yes. This was when I got my phone, when I got the Pixel.
I don't remember Matt being there.
I know. But Matt was there.
Okay.
Remember Matt had his phone. He was trying to like film
I'm remembering
stuff
these as 2 different days completely.
They were one day.
Yes.
So we did that.
No, I'm saying like I'm remembering another day being at your house with other people and then recording something.
Different days.
Yes.
So we have this. Then we have basically the world shuts down and we have 3 episodes of backup stuff that go up, which is the Batman suits, the Batman, and the Joker. These go up in rapid succession. I think it's not even like a week span. It's like 3 days. Where we're
the Bat suits, I think, was the last one we recorded in the booth.
It was.
Yeah.
We did that last trilogy there. Oh no, actually, we had a couple more that we had done in the booth as backup. We had so many backups at this point because we knew where things were going.
Yeah.
So then you have living in quarantine, the first episode where we go remote. Then this is the point where the 3 of us start to drift.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple years where we don't need to get in specifics, just like we did the last time. But you're going through stuff, I'm going through stuff, Matt's going through stuff. So we do the look back, and it's the first point where we're barely getting by. We have another backups of job history, 1, 2, and 3, that we have recorded at school. And it's, all right, you know what? We need to stop with the main episodes because there's nothing going on in the world. People are watching content. Let's do Debate, an old series of ours that only lasted a couple episodes, which was Dudes, Booze, and an episode or 2. We start to watch Brew Brothers, and the whole thing is that, oh, Brendan, what are you doing? Watch your foot, boy.
Just don't use that camera for that part.
So we have Debate, where we basically sit down, we watch a show together.
Yeah.
We basically, in real time, you're watching it with us, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then this is the point where you dropped off.
Yeah.
We recorded like 3 episodes of Debate to have for backups, and you're like, I need to take a break. I can't be doing this right now.
Yeah.
Because there's too much going on, and you can't make it work because we're also talking about too much with phones. We then had 2 back-to-back snacks of Matt and I talking about phones. To bet the last backup from school, which is the John Wick rankings.
Okay.
And then to bet episode 3. And then we don't post anything. We don't say anything. We're done. 1.0 ends in, it's got to be April or the beginning of May of 2020.
Okay.
Because COVID. This technically doesn't count as like 2.0. This is just like a side thing where Matt and I do tech theory. Because you're right. At this point, we had done consumer tech all the way.
Yeah.
So we do had to be like 4 or 5 months talking tech. Tech theory lasts until the fall. And then there's no podcasting to be done. It's just like you and I aren't really speaking. Matt and I are speaking and we're friends, but there's no talk of podcasting because we're both trying to focus on music and graduating. Then you get to August of last year, where it just like it happened the first time. Matt and I are doing nothing but joking around about, you know what, let's start a fucking podcast. Why don't we just do the bowl again? Let's just do it. So at a certain point, we go, the return of the bowl. 2.0 comes out in August, and we're like, let's try it out for a couple months. Let's see what happens. This is the point where Brendan can't really speak on anything.
No.
Because he wasn't there.
No.
And that's okay.
I was gone.
This is around the time that you and I start talking again. Maybe a bit before this. Like the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
We start talking and hanging out and whatever. Matt and I do, from that point, it's YouTube is the way to go. So it's video all the way, every time.
Yeah.
It's learning to post on shorts. It's learning to do whatever. 2.0 lasts until that December. And then this is the point where we don't have a following, but there's enough subscribers for us to be like, oh yeah, let's just like say what's going on.
Yeah. And
talk about what we're doing for the 3 or 4 people that give a shit at this point. We have like 30 subs. 3.0 launches in January of this year. And 3.0, the whole point was like 6 different channels, shorts, clips, fitness, whatever. We want to do everything because that's the Anything Bowl. Yeah. That's the whole point. 3.0 launches with a huge focus on shorts, and 3.0 is probably the most extensive one that goes until this past June. It's at this point where you start to come back into the picture of wanting to do the podcast again. We are just vibing out. We get to the summertime. We're adults now, so there is no school portion. It's just like, let's figure it out. And I don't want to say this is the prime, but this is where we hit the stride. Because now it's the numbers and the analytics are reflecting the work that we're putting in.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh man, 100,000 views, 20,000 subs. We go from having 2 views a video to 40. From 30 subs to 150 in a month and a half.
Yeah.
We see the numbers and something's working, so we have fun. Then we technically, this is the point where I stop talking about it publicly. 4.0 to me is like 2.5 week span where we're like, you know what? Brendan's having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun with him. Let's make it official. Let's have him in here 100% full time, the whole fucking 9 yards. And that's the way to go. 4.0 lasts only from like Spider-Verse up until last week.
That's 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. There's 6 episodes. Very small.
Okay.
And then you get to what we're calling now. I'm calling it Tab V because I love Roman numerals.
Why are you doing it like a W?
Because it's a V. Well, because W, V. Because I want to use 2 hands.
Yeah, Spock.
So 4.0 shortly lasted. And then as we talked about last week, Matt comes to me and says, he wants to focus on his artist collective. Music is his thing. I get it. You get it. Neither of us are necessarily surprised.
No.
But it's still like, okay, time to readjust. And now we have 5. Tab V.
Yeah.
Which is basically now just the modern,
just
whatever we're going to call it.
Because I didn't expect to be on here full time.
Which is, the point, the initial point of you coming back was like, I want to do, first it was, I want to be on a couple episodes. Or we want you in a couple episodes. We want to see how we mesh. And then it was, let's have you on like once a week. 3 episodes a week, let's have you on for 1.
Yeah.
Or 1 every 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks it went from in 2 weeks it went from once every couple weeks to like once a week to 90% of the time.
To just you're just part of this now.
Yeah. And it's now with Tab V, it's the whole goal is upping everything.
Yeah.
It's
production value,
production cost. The effort, the time,
the content, just focusing on what actually is working.
And just raising the bar, you know? Because I'm pretty sure we got on this topic was the editing. And it was simple before. I'm just putting 2 fucking things side by side.
Yeah, but the problem with that is Matt did editing.
Yeah.
I don't edit. You don't really edit, so there's going to be a
what I'm talking
curve.
about is me.
Yeah.
the editing that I did is just you put the two side by side, you export it and whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's got to be, camera, jumpy. Mm-hmm. Watching the green screen and actually watching through the episode before we upload it.
Yeah.
Instead of what I was doing before, which was just like...
It's fine. It is what it is.
It is. And now the future. What are we doing? You and I are partners.
Yes.
The tab is if you want to go down to like brass tacks, is my baby. But you and I are partners in this, and Brendan will be in just about every episode.
Yeah.
There's going to be, I'd say, you correct me if the ratio is wrong, 1 out of every like 20 or 30 episodes will be Brendan list, or one out of every 20.
Yeah.
Because you've got shit going on. You have a life, and you...
Especially, like you said, we have regular jobs, so like, I work 9 to 5, so like, sometimes like we do a lot of this on the weekend, sometimes I have plans. Yeah, and that's fine. Like today, we should have been done with this a couple hours ago. Yeah.
Ideally.
For those of you who don't know when we're recording this, it's Father's Day.
It is. Happy Sunday. This was just... It's easy this way. This way we record the 3.
Yeah.
When we have the week to edit and upload and do whatever, except for the review that I gotta like bang out tomorrow morning. And that's simple and fine. In the future, we gotta figure out the days, but it's easy this way. You bang it out in like 4 hours in the morning on a Sunday.
Yeah,
quick and easy, done. I think there's a lot of pros and cons to what we're gonna do. Pros is you and I being, first of all, in person.
So much
better to bounce off of.
Yeah,
much better to just have like chemistry and not have to hear someone talk and think you're cutting them off, or think that they're going to know that you're talking.
Yeah,
it
also felt really weird having 2 of us in one room and Matt. Because I would be like, oh yeah, you, and then I'd be like, and then I'd wait for Matt, and then I'd be like, is he like part of what's happening, or is it like?
And it's hard. It's hard. We got into a good swing, and that's why Matt and I made it work. But it's much better to do it like this. Yeah. To have people in person, and I can already just tell this feels much more natural.
Yes.
This feels really good.
You're not talking to a screen. You're talking to a person.
I'm not talking to you. So
you picture a Matt on the screen.
In the arms
oh no.
So
no.
the good and bad.
From 2019, 2023. Just no. Why are you playing Sarah McLachlan?
In the arms.
Eating a dog.
Here's the stuff. Brandon will be on in 90, I'd say like 92% of the episodes.
There will be one semi soon that I may or may not be on. So.
How dare you?
I have a family reunion.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
That's right. In how many weeks is that? 2 weeks?
2 or 3, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We could even just record in advance.
We could.
Take it easy.
Backups.
There is one backup that we have that has Matt in it, so that might be a little jarring when that comes out.
Should probably put that one up sooner than later.
Yeah, it's okay.
Especially with also, the different background.
Yeah. Very jarring. So that'll go up at some point. Or we'll just save it for like 3 years from now when it doesn't make any sense.
Or that other thing that I was talking about earlier that I didn't want to mention.
You have to remember that, because you're just going to leave me hanging.
Yeah. It's fun when even the other person doesn't know.
No idea.
It's not that big of a deal. Don't get your hopes up.
I'm sure it's a really big deal. There's a fly.
No.
Did you get it?
No. Okay.
What else is there? A bunch of stuff that I want to check off. Multicam setup. I'm very proud of this, even though we have shadows and some things to iron out. So much light, so much lighting, so much stuff to juggle. Shorts are going to take sort of a backseat, just because there's a learning curve for the 2 of us. And shorts are a great way for like quick views, and it's worked for us. 1,700 to fucking like 5,200 views on most of our shorts. But that's not the goal. We don't sit here for an hour or 3 hours to record these long things for somebody to just like the 10 seconds that you see. Yeah. It feels like a waste to me. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
To me, the shorts just won't be the goal.
So, from my experience, from listening to podcasts, finding podcasts, there's a lot of things out there where I don't watch the podcast, but the shorts are something I actually look forward to. And like eventually it's just like, just like the Anakin Bowl.
That's what you were doing.
But it other ones as well. But then you kind of go, oh, well, what happened after that? I kind of want to know. And it's like, there's no short on it. So, okay, I guess I'm going to watch the episode.
I watch the whole thing.
And then, like, next thing you know, you're into it, and you're like, okay, I'll keep
that's
going.
what I was texting you about. You were like, I can't believe you ranked this, whatever. Now you got to tell me what happens in the rest. I was like, you should just watch the fucking tier list.
Well, my problem with that was you started at the bottom. So, like, there was, like...
Not you. I didn't do it. Matt did.
You can't go bottom. You can't go number 1, but you can't go at the bottom. You got to go in the middle so people can, like, if they're paying attention, you could be like, what's on there? And then it's just, how is that one not at the top?
Yeah.
So it was a tease, but it was too weak of a tease.
So what else is coming with 5? Guests.
Yes.
Timmy. Hi, Timmy. Timmy's going to be on the podcast every now and then as my life partner. She is part of this too. We're going to figure out a way on the set to have 3 of us at some point. But right now, this just makes the most sense. Otherwise, my goal was to have the 3 of us sit in for a little bit and be able to do it together. But there's no good way to do it right now.
I've actually solved that already.
How have you solved it?
Well, see the shadows? Just move this forward about 2 feet, and then you could fit a chair behind there, and the lighting creates a bit less shadows. But, you know, we said, we did this 3 times today, and I was doing it. I don't want to do this again.
Yeah. I want to bang this out and then take it apart and be done for the day.
Yeah.
What else is coming? Other special guests. I mentioned Dave. Dave is going to be on here in a couple months. He's got a bunch of stuff he's doing. And we could just figure out other things. We could bring Isaiah on. We could bring... My mom's been dying to come on here.
Really?
Yeah. No, she's been talking about wanting to be on the bowl since 2019.
Why?
I don't know. She's got a lot to talk about.
Okay.
She's been talking about wanting to start her own podcast. It's a whole thing.
Your mom wants to start a podcast?
She's been talking about it since 2019.
What's it going to be about?
I have no idea.
Well, you got to find out.
I do.
That's a good story.
We could get your dad on here.
He's not going to do this.
But you never know.
He's not going to do this.
You never know. You could even just show up one day.
What you got there? One of these.
What else? Do you want to do it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I
Why?
don't know. Because I'm kind of thirsty, but there's nothing else here.
Yeah, I drank my energy drink and my water.
I don't want to drink any. I only drank an energy drink because you did.
I had a latte, a coffee, and an energy drink.
Yes, you did.
And I'm still yawning. It's been a long day. It went down the wrong pipe. It went down the wrong pipe. Fuck. Down a nail whiskey.
So I put a little blur over that. I think you could tell what we did.
Why did you blur it out?
You want me to leave it in?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
It's not illegal. What the fuck? We're adults. If I want to have a weird fucking unbranded sweet tea whiskey, I can have one.
Oh yeah, I can't say that we're sponsored by things anymore because now our goal is to actually get sponsored.
Yes, and no one wants to be sued because that's not fun.
No, it's not fun. So what else is changing with the bowl? For our audio listeners, that's the title.
Sorry.
The title layout is going to stay the same because I like things to be organized. There will still be snack time. There will still be episode names. There will still be movie reviews. But I think we're going to start changing titles. I think the main episode is still going to have the layout that it does.
Yeah.
But I think movie reviews from now on is going to be like, Ezra Miller said what? Or like something to catch people's eyes a bit more. Yeah. We're going to be working on thumbnails because I love the uniformity that we have right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you're more creative than I am in that space.
Yes. Having said that, like this... Sorry, that shot kind of hit me really quick there. There's a lot of things that we're talking about right now. There's also a lot of things that we have not mentioned yet.
No.
We're not going to bring it up today because nothing's set in stone.
To be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm aware of it.
Okay.
Well, you have been told.
The things that you want to make?
No, the things for this.
Why can't you just...
Because I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm saying. Fine. I would like to update the branding. I'd like to update looks and whatever.
Oh, logos and shit.
And logos and creativity. And then there's something else that I'm working on that's kind of more on my side. That...
Why is the logo so secretive?
I don't know what it's going to... I don't even know if we're changing it. Like, I don't know.
We're not changing it yet, but everything...
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of it's still up in the air, so I don't want to just be kind of like...
Yeah.
So... There's a lot of that you have to figure out as well. So then in order to rebrand something, For those of you who don't know, that is what I just normally do for a living. So
he's a graphic designer.
And I brand a lot of stuff. So focusing on that and doing something that you actually care about and love, you want to make sure it's right. So there's a lot of time to take care of that. But then doing these thumbnails, you make it for what it looks like now, and then you have to change it for what that is. But also making thumbnails, I could do it half-assed and just be like clickbait and have Miguel sit there like. And like put
Ezra Miller said, "What?"
Yeah, and like do that, or I could take some time, maybe do some animation for not animation, but like hand drawn stuff or whatever, and that takes a lot of work.
Yes,
to get that, and that's where it comes back to. You said other people like maybe they have an editor or whatever. It's just they also have artists, but we don't have that luxury.
Yes, well,
but it is also these are the things that we do. You did not go to school for editing.
No.
But you did learn some of that.
Yes.
I did go to school for this kind of stuff, but I didn't go to, the thumbnail class. And I didn't have that.
Neither did I. And that's why you learn. That's why the thumbnails right now especially follow a certain kind of pattern.
I don't even know what they look like.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to open it on your computer screen?
Sure. Why don't you put it there for everybody else, though?
Oh, no, it's been on here the whole time.
Oh, has it been?
Thumbnails are changing. There was this thing that one of my bosses...
I was supposed to use my laptop. I forgot my laptop. I've been using a laptop sitting in a closet for a while. I'm using Microsoft Edge. It's a bit slow.
Edge is bad. One of my bosses told me in January that when it comes to being like a manager or a soup,
it's a little wet.
It's about elevating expectations all the time. So my goal with this is to elevate our standards, elevate our expectations, and elevate our production. I want to do more. I want us to look better. I want us to do more and have more fun stuff. Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
I see the thumbnails. They do need work.
They do. But if you scroll down, right, if you're just looking at the video feed, where the thumbnails are look much better than when you get to no thumbnails.
Yeah, they're still just very busy. You have all the things on there instead of just like one.
A couple? Yeah, if you look at the Metallica tier list, that's more like how it should be.
The graphic designer and me screaming at these.
That's fine.
Okay.
Now you can do them.
Yes.
My goal, right, is as we can build a following and learn more of what we're doing and have other people behind us, the first thing that I want to offload to someone is partial video editing.
Yes.
You can focus on thumbnails. I can focus on the long form edits. Someone else can focus on the shorts. Right now, Matt is still doing it for us, but I don't know how long we're going to keep that going on. So somebody to help edit is the first goal.
Yeah.
And then, 10 million subscribers later.
10 million?
That's the end game.
Yeah.
Right? The goal of this, the longest term goal of the Anything Bowl
is live shows.
Financial stability.
Just right over that one, okay.
we can do tons of different video ideas. We can change to more YouTuber focused things instead of just podcasting. Yeah. We can change to doing live shows. We can do whatever. But my goal with this is for us to be able to build a following and then be able to survive off the podcast instead of having to stress so much.
Be able to not have to focus on the jobs that way. The jobs that we currently have, that way we can edit more. We can spend more time on that. We can do side projects.
The pendulum needs to swing a little bit to the other side. That is the long-term goal.
And we are much closer to the possibility of that right now than I ever thought possible.
It went from impossible to possible.
Yeah.
Because now we've learned a little bit. There's some kind of following. There's some kind of basis there.
Yeah.
So now it's.
I mean, like for the longest time, like when the stages 1 through 3, there was like 30 people watching.
Completely. We didn't build any kind of following until a couple months ago, and I say following very loosely. Yeah. Okay, 200 subscribers is not a following, but 200 versus the 20 that we had in January.
Yeah.
Very different. It's crazy to think that we've only built this kind of following it's June. The channel is completely consolidated in March. March, April, May, June.
4 months.
4 months. We went from...
It's doubled in 2 weeks.
Yeah. It took us 4 months to hit 100. Well, technically, you could be like, it took you like 3 years. It took us like 3 years, 4 months-ish to hit 100. And then we hit 130 that week. And then we hit 200 like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
And now, admittedly, we've stalled a little bit because... the rotation, the content changed, the rotation. Well, we had an entire, all of episode 58, the video was corrupted. So there is no like shorts posting, and that's where a lot of our subs come from. So we've stalled at like 213. But there's so much potential there. Yeah. And we've gone from, this could be a lot of fun, we're just doing this for funsies, to now it's like, okay, this could be a career if we play our cards right. And that career can lead to, I already know what I'm doing, man. If we somehow, I'm going to fucking manifest, okay? Yeah. If we somehow hit this to where this can be our day job and I can quit my job or go down to like 20 hours a week just for the sake of benefits, I will totally go back into music. I don't do music right now because between Costco and this, I don't have time. And then when I do have time, I want to sit, I want to take a deep breath, and I want to relax. If I can diminish one, I will fucking actually put out the album that I've been talking about for ages. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
And then I don't have time and I don't have drive.
Yeah.
Because I'm sleepy.
Yeah. And it's just like, I would love to have my own company and I'd love to not have to do what I do for a living and focus on more of the stuff that I enjoy, which is why I went into graphic design. Yes. And having to focus on a job and especially doing this as well, there's not really time for any of that. So if we were able to focus solely on this, I could do that. And then like you said, designate certain people, not the right word, but whatever.
Hire people.
Yeah. So
offload some of the stress.
And that way we can focus more on what we want, but while still producing a high quality of the podcast. Because it's not once we start rolling, we're just going to be like, oh, this is what we want to do. And then the podcast goes away. Yes. Podcast will be here for as long as you guys want it to be.
Exactly. And we're going to have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Once I don't want to get too much into it.
Yeah.
I want to manifest, but I don't want to jinx. And that's a very fine line in the superstition world. I had one more thing to say and I completely lost it. This is going to be a lot more serious and a lot more high quality, but also a lot more lack. Yeah. As you can tell by the shot that we took in the middle of the episode.
Yes.
And then I want this to be a thing, by the way. I want it to be like at least like in the beginning, the shot that we take.
Does it have to be a different one every episode?
Yes. Okay. But I want it to, in my head, it's usually when the video starts, it goes clap. There's like 5 seconds, and then I do the intro. And in those 5 seconds is where the transition comes for the video to kick in from the intro. I want it to transition as we put the shot down. So then the start of the episode is you going, ah, ah. And then I go, hello, 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 ah, ah. That exact thing.
The only thing where everything hurts.
Yes. That's good. I like that. I'm getting sweaty.
Same. I would turn the air back on, but I feel like it's going to mess up the levels.
We're mid-episode.
We are
After that, we will...
Well, episode. We're not mid. We're top tier. You guys know it. We know it.
What's funny is Matt makes a joke that I say top tier all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just me. You say the same shit.
Do I?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's the thing is that, like, we kind of separated for a couple of years and like didn't really talk.
We have always been the same person.
Yes. So a lot of the things we say have been whatever. And even if I don't say them naturally, there's certain things that remind me of them. I'm like, I'm saying it. No one here is going to appreciate this, but I'm saying it anyway. Yeah.
And what's funny is I don't think we've ever really gotten into the story of you and I. We hated each other in high school. Or I hated you.
Yeah.
Because I thought you were a little bit.
Middle school.
We hated each other up until we graduated.
There was assault.
Was there really?
Oh, yeah, there was a lot of kicking.
Oh, yeah. But
it was like middle school kicking.
You were like the abused one in the group.
Yeah, but you were also abused.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was friendly abuse.
Yes, exactly. It wasn't like...
It wasn't just like, look at that one.
It was just like, she spoiled The Force Awakens in the hallway. You got to tackle her to the ground. It wasn't like, I'm going to go to your house and beat you with a baseball bat.
It's like, I'm going to kick you in the shin because it's funny, but I'm wearing steel-toed boots today, and now you have a dent in your shin. You're aggressive, children. Very aggressive.
I miss Norm, the bus driver.
What a G. The amount of shit that poor man put up with.
My God, I can't even. Okay, so to put a wrap on episode 58, because somehow this is, the goal was for this to be shorter, but this is about an hour.
Yeah.
Do you know? First, if you could tell me one of, if not your favorite episode that we've done thus far. It could be 3.0, it could be 1.0, it could be fucking whenever. And then what you think our most viewed episode is.
Honestly, my favorite one is the one where I first came back and started doing this because of just the fact that I did find it funny. The fact that the internet decided to hate me.
It was so funny. And the first short we posted was the most viewed and most liked one we have on the page.
And I know we keep talking about it, but I still let the milk comment.
You look like you made the mayonnaise out of a jar.
So good. And like, I know we don't have anything like that, but I really, really want to make a t-shirt of myself just eating mayonnaise out of a jar.
I can't wait.
I want it.
I can't wait.
I want it real bad.
It's so funny.
Just Pooh Bear hand in jar, just mayonnaise.
For reference, that was, what episode was that?
No.
Was that 53? The Anything Bowl Reunion 100 subscriber special.
Yes.
We're at 58, and we've doubled that already.
Nice.
Wild.
Are we at 250?
What?
Are we at 250?
213.
When we get 250, do we got to do another special? Or
I don't think I want to do a special until 500. 500 or 1,000.
Okay.
That could be our chance to bring Matt back.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have a favorite episode? Honestly, I'm gonna give it. I have to give 3. I back to back.
Okay, I do have one honorable mention for me.
What's the honorable mention?
The Green Day review. Just because I knew the hits, and you made me listen to like 9 Green Day albums just to review that, and by the time it was over, I wanted to die.
That was early on, too.
I had to do it in a week. I had to listen to someone's entire discography in a week.
Well, that was the whole thing.
While going to school and working.
Matt did the same thing. Okay, Matt didn't listen to Set It Off. You didn't listen to Fall Out Boy. We all had to do it. Okay, in the beginning, it was we have to rank these bands that we love.
Yes, but we listened to Fall Out Boy enough to where I knew a good portion.
But we still do it now. But you know what's funny? We're about to record the DCU tier list. Have you watched all those movies?
I want to say yes, but I don't know.
I haven't.
Oh, no, I haven't seen Wonder Woman 2.
I haven't seen Wonder Woman 1 or 2.
You know, that's...
Or the new Shazam.
I have not seen one... Those 3 movies I have not seen.
Okay, so Brendan said Green Day. What episode was that?
We were still at Ramapo,
We were. Oh, there it is. Snack Time, ranking Green Day's discography because Father of All came out the week before.
Yes.
Or the couple days
I don't even remember that album.
Bad album. There's a couple really good songs in there, but it's bad. So, I gotta say, I got 3 ties, and they're all... You'll understand when I tell you them, why they're all tied. Number 1, intros are dailies in our top 5 movies. I write all the titles for everything. I love that.
Is that the original one or the most recent one?
No, that's the first one.
Oh, okay.
Where we were just having fun. And it's really funny to go back and listen to it because you're like, wow, first of all, we sound like babies.
Babies.
We look like babies.
Babies.
And we don't know what we're doing.
No.
And that's fine. Number 2 for the runner-up is 21, The Return of the Bowl. Great title. Okay. First of all, Matt and I had just come back. Again, didn't know what we were doing, but it was a lot of fun. Lastly, I'm going to agree with you. In that 53, the Anything Bowl reunion, was a lot of fun because it was the first time. First of all, it's the first time the 3 of us were on camera together, and it was the first time we really all talked at the same time.
Also, I had a laughing attack because Matt, and I was not ready for that.
No.
Which is why that episode had a good vibe from the start because we were just feeling good. And I want that to be more of what this is. I want this to be lighter. I want it to be more comedic.
We're having a lot of fun right now.
Fun.
Let's be honest.
We're having fun. They're having fun.
And in that episode, we basically went through the first episode again.
Sorry, that whiskey's coming there.
Where we talked about our top 5 movies. We talked about our dailies, barely. And we just talked about who we were and what was going on. Mm-hmm. Introspective. We do an introspective video probably once every 10 or 15. And the math works out there. Now, Brendan, what is the most viewed video on the channel? Can you guess?
Is it that one?
No.
What is it?
Long form. It's the So Much for Stardust album review. We dedicated a whole episode to it.
I was on for that.
You were not.
Okay.
I'm just talking about most viewed in general. Second to that, you're going to see a trend here. The top 4 most viewed videos on the channel go So Much for Stardust review, which was a snack time that turned into a full thing because it's like 55 minutes.
Okay.
Second is the Ultimate Panic tier list.
Okay.
Third is the Ultimate Fall Out Boy tier list. And the 4th highest one is the Ultimate Metallica tier list.
You know why?
Why?
They have concise topics.
Yes, they do.
It's not as much as the episode format of do this, do this, do this, do this. Mm-hmm. The free-form conversation where you're kind of focused on one thing and if it leads to something else is a lot more easy to follow. And
it's a lot more fun, too.
And whatever. And it's, look at what we have.
We have had so much fun already.
But I mean, like, look at what's on this table. We like these things. The people watching us like these things. Talking about these things is probably what they want to see.
That's my favorite, one of my favorite pops right over there.
This right here?
Yeah. Stop. Oh, the bottom's going to fall off. Good job. Put it back on.
Why does the bottom come off?
Because it's a horrible pop stack and you can't find good ones anymore.
Why not? Because pops are dying.
Funko that's a whole other conversation. Funko as a company is in the shitter. There's too much of them. But I still like what I like.
Yeah.
The most viewed short, because shorts are very important to us still.
Yes.
Now it's recent. It's the ultimate, or it's talking about the Assassin's Creed tier list, where it's basically...
That is the only one I've watched.
It's just not even like this one goes here. This is just like me saying, oh, Mirage came out. We're going to do a tier list. Let's go. And it grips people.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, you know, this is a catchy intro. Let's fucking do the thing. 5.3 thousand.
Okay.
Below that is Matt talking about James Gunn. And then Star Wars Celebration reactions. People hate Star Wars. They get really mad about Star Wars.
I get very mad about Star Wars.
Everybody gets mad about Star Wars.
You know why?
Why?
It's our birthright.
Okay. And with that, folks, the introspective episode until probably like September or October has come to a close.
Woo!
Yay! Welcome to Tab V. To V.
Yes, the anything bowl where anything goes. The anything bowl where everything hurts.
The anything bowl where everything hurts. All right, Brendan, you want to do the outro?
No.
Okay, folks, we are on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. Not really. TikTok. I said TikTok. YouTube Shorts. We're on YouTube. This is clearly.
Yes.
YouTube is the main goal, but we are everywhere.
Hey.
We're on Apple Podcasts. What?
No.
What?
Double back. What'd you miss? Subscribe.
Hit
that bell.
Ring-a-ling the ding-a-ling bell. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Deezer, every single audio format you can think
Deezer?
of. I have no idea.
Then why are we on it?
Because we need to be there, okay? We have to have a presence everywhere. Everywhere you get your audio, we are there. Podserve does not sponsor us, but I will swear by them because they have made things so simple for us for 4 years. Podserve is so good. Every time that we've stopped the Anything Bowl, they delete the episodes from the public except for the first one. And then the minute you sign back up, they just keep everything in the cloud. I didn't have to re-upload 40 or 50 fucking episodes because they were still there the minute you reactivate your subscription.
Perfect.
Podserve, phenomenal. Here's what you missed out on the past week, folks. Wednesday, we did the Ultimate DCEU tier list, the definitive, the last one. Don't need to do anything else. Before that, we did the Flash review. Talked about the Flash, Ezra Miller, and the felon that they are. And then lastly,
we didn't touch on the felonies much.
No, we didn't, which is kind of the goal. Because you want to talk about the movie.
The goal of the bowl.
Separate the artist.
Yeah.
Separate the artist from the art.
Yeah.
Lastly, before that, we did episode 58, Starfield, Assassin's Creed, and Matt is Leaving Us. Hits you right on the nose, where we talked about games and then the transition that the bowl is going through. But enough talking about transition. Let's just get right into it, folks. Coming up this week, the uploads aren't going to change. We've got, I think, Asteroid City. We need to talk about the movies we're going to see before you leave today.
You said that, and immediately I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And I'm like, oh yeah, that one.
Actually, you know what? This is the one week, because everything right now is based on movies. This is the one week that we're not going to follow the same thing. Asteroid City is not a series or whatever movie coming out, so there is no tier list to do. We could just figure something out.
I mean, you could, but I'm not watching
Wes Anderson?
All of his films.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that.
The only other one I've ever seen is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, I'm not doing all that. That's too much. Artsy? I don't need it. And then episode 60 is TBD.
Yes.
I have no idea. We'll decide on the day. Folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. All of our recent stuff and socials and everything are in the description below. Tell your friends. Tell your wife. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. Brendan, do you have anything left to say to the people?
You got to make that outro shorter.
Bing bong.